We are finally in preseason week for the Dallas Cowboys. We've got less than a week to go before the Cowboys get in on the football action. One of the last teams to play in week 1, by the way. If you are excited for the preseason, then type me. It should at least be every person, because at least football is finally back. We'll talk training camp, but I want to get into some contract stuff on Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Mike Florio reports that part of the issue in this Dak Prescott contract negotiation is the team looking to have an escape hatch of some sorts, which they certainly did not have last time. Here's what Florio said. One sticking point in the Dak deal, we're told, relates to the team's escape hatch. How many years they be tied to Prescott in the event he regresses or they otherwise decide to make a change. While the number the Cowboys want isn't clear, they could be looking for a 2 or 3 year exit opportunity. Dak, whose current 4-year deal could have a real 4-year commitment, wants security if he's going to stay. Now, swear to God that was the exact same thing that happened last time, by the way. And I think this would potentially create a real issue for Dallas, because this could be both a length issue and a guaranteed issue. You know, the Geno Smith deal was kind of a 1-year deal. Some of these other deals, Trevor Lawrence is kind of borderline 4 years. Jordan Love, Tua are at least 3 years of actual commitments. And the reason why this is such an issue for Dallas is the quarterback has the leverage here. Jordan Love I believe he had franchise tag options. Tua Tagovailoa had his 5th-year option and franchise tag options. So did Trevor Lawrence, multiple years of that. The Cowboys don't have that with Dak, because they effed around and found out the first time they went through this complicated quarterback negotiation. So the big eye-popping number is always going to be the average per year. That's totally understandable. The guaranteed money, though, is oftentimes more impactful. Now, even once you get into guaranteed money, not all guaranteed money is created equal. This is the practical guaranteed money, but it has an asterisk on it. You know, Jordan Love and Patrick Mahomes, Love is 9, despite being the highest paid QB. But when you look at the actual numbers for Jordan Love, there's rolling guarantees. And you'd have to kind of cut him a year early and eat a bunch of dead money on top of that. So it's only $160 million guaranteed, but it's a little bit more than that if you pick him up after 2 years, which you're going to do, most likely, barring a complete disaster. So it's deceptive overall. Mahomes has massive rolling guarantees that were like 2 years ahead, and it was almost a fully guaranteed deal. Dak has unique leverage, because if anyone's going to ask for a fully guaranteed deal, he's the one that's going to hit free agency potentially. That could be a real issue for Dallas, if that's how he wants to play his hand. So will the Cowboys pay Dak Prescott? Maybe they do, just like a little shorter Kirk Cousins deal like Minnesota did. Y for yes, N for no. It is the pinned comment on today's show. So if the ad break comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there. Y for yes, N for no. Again, my main issues here are this. If you are hoping that Dak Prescott plays poorly, and that's the market, or it's kind of what Florio implied, like, maybe they want to see if the market goes down. That only happens if he's terrible. Like, not even just like, okay, if he's terrible. Why are you even paying him if you think that is a very real, probable outcome? And if you don't think that's going to happen, if you think he's going to stay this top 10 quarterback for the next 3 to 4 years, I think is what's going to happen, by the way, why have you not paid him yet? Like, in general, the complete inaction, the lack of urgency remains profoundly disappointing to me. Because why hasn't it happened? What exactly are the Cowboys doing here? Like, I get that there's sticker shock with the market, and we don't like it, and we wish it were different, and we wish it was a salary cap for QBs, blah, blah, blah. Here we are. This is how this works. What I genuinely don't want to do is cave at the last second. Like, because this is your reputation, Cowboys, with agents. Don't take the first deal. Don't do the second deal. Don't do the third deal. Ignore their lowball offers. They will cave. They caved to Zeke. They caved to Dak. They caved to Amari. They caved to Tank the first time. When players want top of the market money, this is what ends up happening. And it's a bad process. So if you're not going to change it now, don't change it at the last second. I would not be surprised if they changed it at the last second. Today's show was made possible by Game Time. Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. There are so many ways to save money on tickets from Game Time, no matter when you buy. You can get last-minute deals, tickets right to the start of the event, even an hour after it starts. There's flash deals, zone deals, sponsored deals for baseball games, basketball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Zone deals, you pick the section. Game Time picks the seats, by the way, for big-time savings in the process. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So download the Game Time app over at gametime.co. Use promo code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. That's promo code CHATSPORTS, 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 for $20 off. A reminder that terms, of course, do apply. But download Game Time today for last-minute tickets at the lowest price, all guaranteed. Now, what I think most of us are frustrated by is the CeeDee Lamb situation. Again, we continue to wait, and there is no deal for superstar wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. And I think I speak for most who say, I'm frustrated by this. I'm annoyed. Because this should have been done in March. This should have been done in April. This should have been done in June. This should have been done in July. Now here we are in early August, and there's no deal done. And I really don't want to keep hearing, oh, it was the agent. Why? 8 other players of the 10 highest paid wide receivers in football have gotten paid this offseason. Everybody else has figured this out except San Francisco and you and Cincinnati, which, by the way, probably not where you want to be when it comes to contract negotiation stuff. The Niners always drag it out to August and piss off the player, and the Bengals are super cheap. That's not a good spot to be. We know it's going to be between A.J. Brown and Justin Jefferson. That is the market. Maybe it comes in at $34.5 million. The guaranteed money, I get that's trickier to figure out. Should it be, though? Frankly, if you had operated with urgency previously, you wouldn't be scrambling here at the last second. Your receiver wouldn't be missing valuable training camp time. Yeah, he doesn't need training camp, but guess what? It makes you better. That's why they have it for every NFL player. So I am peeved by this whole thing. I want you guys to predict the date that CeeDee Lamb ends up getting paid. I don't know what the number is. I honestly thought it'd be done by now. I also thought it'd be done before camp and in the offseason. I had it. This is a free swear of the Cowboys bingo. What date does it happen? Let me know in the comments of today's show. Now, Zach Martin, he waited until August 14th. And I don't want to wait another week and a half-ish. I don't want to do that. Get it done. I think for the record, my boy Pretty Ricky was probably wrong on being close. I think he's going to be right on the money. I think it's going to be between $34.5 million per year. But I think he maybe got a little bit too excited that they were closer on the per year figure. And I think still had some work to do on the other numbers and like the guaranteed and other key elements of that deal. But I think he'll be right on the average per year side. All right, some Cowboys training camp takeaways I want to get to here. First up is the center spot. Brock Hoffman versus Cooper Beebe. It is early August. Hoffman has done everything in his power to just push Cooper Beebe to the side. Here's what Archer wrote. The pads have only just come on for the Cowboys at training camp, but it seems pretty clear that this is Brock Hoffman's job to lose. He took all the snaps of the first team in the spring and continues to do so in training camp. Zach Martin said Hoffman is a natural leader, which is a must at the center spot despite his lack of experience. Third-round pick Cooper Beebe will get a chance to show what he can do in the preseason games, but he's still getting accustomed to a new spot, so much that he works on his snaps in 7-on-7 work. Beebe is still a work in progress, specifically with the snaps. I think I speak for all of us that we kind of undervalued and maybe underestimated the learning curve there. But he's worked hard. Like, he spent time with his family working on snaps, like just doing it every chance he gets. So I wouldn't necessarily panic on that front. I think it is a work in progress for Beebe, and I do think eventually he is going to get there and be able to be a key piece of this offensive line. But right now, it's Hoffman's job to lose. Now, we are just 4 subs away from 190K subscribers. I think we'll get there during today's live show. So if you haven't already, hit that sub button right now. Updates here, heavily injury / illness updates here. No Tyler Guyton and no Luke Schoonmaker either, by the way. So we'll go with Guyton first here. He did not practice on Monday, did some stuff on the side. I think this was the ramp up from his illness return. Just like, hey, make sure we're not pushing him back too quickly, whatever. And then I would bet Tuesday, Guyton's back out there. And thank God, because the dog was getting smoked by Micah Parsons like every rep. Meanwhile, the Cowboys said, Luke Schoonmaker, can we be back on Monday? It's a minor groin injury. Well, guess who wasn't back out there on Monday? Luke Schoonmaker. It's really hard to get better as a young player when the moments and opportunities that are helping you get better in training camp are unavailable to you because you're on the sidelines. Sucks. I want him out there. I want him to make plays. Can't do that while you're hurt. So what is your concern level over Luke Schoonmaker? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. Let me know what concern level you have over the Luke Schoonmaker injury. 1 to 10 is your scale, so make sure you do that for me in the comment section of today's show. All right, I do want to mention a couple of other previous injury updates that have gone on here for the Dallas Cowboys of where they're at coming back from their own injuries here. Several players I want to get to as well. First up is going to be Ryan Florio. He was back out there at Cowboys practice today, which is a really good sign for him and a really good update overall with his injury statuses. Deuce Vaughn remains out with a hamstring injury, so that's not a great sign for him. We'll see when he's back. Eric Kendricks is back from his back, which That's why I capitalized back, because it would have been kind of weird otherwise there. Israel Mukuamu has a groin. This one seems to be more severe than the Luke Schoonmaker one, so he is going to miss time. And Trayvon Diggs was actually back in pads. He returned off of the PUP list already, but he was back in pads at Monday's practice. And now this one I'm sure we'll have more news on at some point, whether it's later tonight or tomorrow. Royce Freeman left practice with what was reported as a groin injury. So a lot of groins going on in terms of things being, I would guess, pulled. But we'll keep an eye on that one for Freeman, because that'd be down Deuce Vaughn or down Freeman too, potentially. That leaves that running back room a little bit thinner than it was already too thin in the first place, frankly.